that ticker back on to start. Hello, everyone out there in Cyberland. If you are joining us, this is the GEG Pennsylvania Pre-Show for today's Google the Anywhere School. So hi, welcome everyone. There are two different places you can leave comments. You can leave comments directly on the YouTube video, or you can use the Google Slides link that says slide. Jen, Julie, can you guys hear me?
Oh, you broke up for a little bit there, but I got you now.
Yep.
Okay. So we have been live for 55 seconds, and of course my Wi-Fi went out a little bit, but we have one viewer so far out there in Cyberland. I wonder how many more we'll get. But welcome everyone. We are here for a half hour leading up to the kickoff of the Google the Anywhere School. I know that the schedule is really awesome looking, so if you haven't looked yet, the link is right there. It's goo.gle/theanywhereschool. You do have to register on Google's website for that, but it'll also give you the schedule and videos of anything you miss. So, would anybody like to kick it off and introduce themselves?
Sure. My name's Judy Keller. I am from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I am a tech integrator in.
Uh-oh, I think I just kicked Judy out. Nope.
I'm here.
No, I was trying to switch it to your. See, this is the problem with using new technology when we're going live. I was trying to switch you to full screen, and so I turned you off the stream instead of putting you full screen on the stream.
That's all right. Well, we all make tech mistakes. That's how we learn.
I'm not going to touch that button again. That is true.
So, anyway, I'm a tech
All right,
integrator.
so go ahead and introduce yourself now that I have it.
Yeah, I am a technology integrator in my school district. I did primary and secondary, and just this year, then I switched over to all elementary. Since everything's changing so quickly, my partner and I decided that one should focus on one side and one should focus on another. So that's what we're doing.
All right, Jen or Arlen, who wants to go next?
Sure, I'll go next. I'm Arlen Roth. I'm the Instructional Technology Specialist for Bellefonte Area School District. I've been in this role for quite a while, longer than I actually was a classroom teacher. This summer, like everybody else, we've been trying to figure out what the plan will be and what the rules will be, and realizing that both of those things change frequently. So we are preparing teachers for hybrid learning with the expectation that at some point we will be involved in remote learning. So we've been using G Suite tools for several years, and all our students have Chromebooks, which was a huge help when we moved to remote learning. So that is what we've been working on very hard this summer.
All right.
All right, and Jen?
Hi, I'm Jen Tamerlan. I am from St. Mary's Area School District in Elk County. I have been working there for 18 years as a Spanish instructor, and about halfway through my career, I also became the technology coach and virtual learning coordinator for the district. We are Google Classroom, definitely 6 through 12, but integrate Google tools K to 12. And yes, we grew a lot during the shutdown in March, because using those tools, something that was kind of an aha moment for us, when you're using those tools and platforms and applications while you're still having live instruction, it's very different than when you're going to be fully dependent on them for virtual learning. So our district is working hard. We are fortunate. Last night they decided we are going to open 5 days, but we also have the option of full virtual learning. But we're taking a week to prepare teachers for hybrid and virtual in preparation for what might come.
You sound like you have your hands full there, Jen.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I think we all have to be ready to pivot at any moment.
Definitely. So I didn't actually introduce myself because I was so busy trying to get the call set up and working. I am Corey. I'm everything really. No, I'm kidding. So I left the classroom a little over a year ago and I work as a consultant now. So I go around and I train people on how to use Google in the classroom, how to use Microsoft in the classroom. I know, dirty word on this chat for Google stuff. But yeah, so I go around and I just, whatever the schools need, I work with their teachers to help them prep and prepare. So this has been a very interesting turn of things. I was doing a lot of webinars last year. I'm actually going back to my first physical location tomorrow. I'm training a charter school in Bensalem. Jen, the fact that you're going back full time, that is amazingly, I don't want to say brave, because, you know, if we were told tomorrow we all had to go back, I bet you every teacher would put on that brave hat and go back to support their students, figuring out how to buy that hand sanitizer to make sure every kid stayed safe. So it's incredible that you're doing that. I'm going to switch the screen for a second. We do have a couple of viewers starting to come. I'm seeing the little number start to grow on the eyeball. So Arlen, Jen, and myself are the GEG leaders for Pennsylvania. Judy works with the global GEG group, but she is a Pennsylvania resident, which is why we asked her to join us on this call today. So thank you again, Judy.
Yep.
But we are looking for more teachers to step up in Pennsylvania because we can't do this alone. As you heard, we're all full-time people who have full-time things to do. So if you want to join our leadership committee and help run some virtual events, or maybe you want to set up a coffee EDU in your hometown, we would be happy to help support that and advertise that. Notice the scroll on the bottom says share your tips and tricks. That's because we want to try to set up at least one virtual meeting a month. So similar to what we're doing right now, but we need you. We need you, the teachers, to be presenting at this stuff. So if you have a Google tip that you want to share, like Judy's going to do for us in a moment, it doesn't even have to be Google. Maybe you are a really good juggler and you want to just teach the other teachers how to juggle for mindfulness. Anything you want to do, we want you to do it. So please fill out that form, show us your talent, and let us know what you want to share, and we will advertise it. We will set you up. We might use the StreamYard again. We might look at doing a Google Meet. It all depends, but we want to do it for you. So please sign up, help us out. We'll present, you'll present. It's going to be a great community.
And I don't think there's a tip too small. I find that with teachers, they're all very humble and they think what they have to share isn't valuable, but they're so wrong. There's always people out there that can benefit from what you have to say.
So one tip
Exactly.
that I found, is everybody using Loom in your school districts? So Loom is free for everyone in education forever. We are using Loom, and I am encouraging my teachers to use Loom to make a video comment for their students. And it quickly provides you a link when you record that video, and then you can just reply with a comment to your students in Google Classroom with that link. And so now they are not getting a text link from you, they're actually getting a video message.
See, excellent tip. And that took 30 seconds for her to share. So seriously, any tips you have. If you were going to do a half-hour session, Judy, you would probably do some screen sharing and show everyone how to do that as well, I assume.
Right.
But
Yep.
No tip is too small. And now I just realized the join our leadership banner was covering your face. So let me turn that banner off.
It's all right. I'm okay with it.
All right. So would you like to tell everyone about that program that you were doing that was featured on Google's blog and on Google's Twitter account? Because it was so cool.
Yeah. So I ran a virtual coding camp this summer with elementary students. I did a in-person camp last year, and it was amazing, and the kids just loved it. And I saw our kids create amazing projects. So I wanted to do it again this year. I wasn't sure how it was going to work. My boss said, well, maybe you shouldn't because there's so many things you need to do. And I said, I got to do at least one because last year I did 6. I said, I need to do at least one because this year of any year, every student has a computer at home with them. And so that student that wouldn't necessarily been able to get a ride to the school to attend my camp last year would be able to attend my camp this year. So I ran the camp, but something that I use CS First with Google, and my students always really liked the passports that CS First gives you and the stickers for when they completed a project. So I wanted to be able to provide them with that. And so I took the passport and I separated it into sections in a Google slide. And I turned it into a virtual passport that I assigned them in a Google Classroom. And I made virtual stickers so that when they completed their assignment, they got a virtual sticker. And Google CS First really liked that I did that. And Google retweeted that. I think it was last week. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was about a week or 2 ago because that's when I reached out to you and said, hey, Judy, I see you're from Pennsylvania. You want to help with the GEG Pennsylvania? And you were like, oh, I help with global. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but right. I'll still help out much as I can. Hey, if you want something done, ask a busy person, right?
That's a good point. So I just put a comment in the YouTube feed that says, please comment. There's a surprise coming. I'm not going to spoil the surprise yet, but definitely leave some comments, people. I know we're up to 4 of you visiting. Oh, look at this. I just got one comment. I'm going to even put it on the screen just because it's so much fun to put these on the screen. It's telling, it's maybe not working. I don't know. Is it showing?
Yeah, it shows.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So should I tell the surprise now or should we wait like another 5 minutes to tell the surprise?
I'm one for suspense.
All right. Well, you know what? I see Peter just put a comment in the YouTube chat. And I think, Peter, that is an excellent tip that maybe you should share with everyone. So if you want to do that, I recommend filling out that share your tips, tricks, and talents page because that is a really cool shortcut. But I'm not going to tell you what it does. I want to see if Peter will tell everyone what it does in a future session. Or everyone's about to go look at their Google Drive and try it to see if they could figure it out. You know, that could work too. So we have 15 minutes to go before the GEG, or not even the GEG, before the Google Anywhere Academy begins. If you haven't looked at the schedule yet, this is a brief overview of today's schedule. So the opening keynote, I believe, is one of Google's vice presidents of education, followed by the fireside chat with Sal Khan. Everyone knows Khan Academy. This is the guy that created it. The What's New with Google for Education, I definitely recommend any teacher should check out the 240 session because there are a lot of amazing features coming. Have you guys checked out the new Google Meets features coming next month?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes.
We can't get those soon enough because we've been training teachers already.
Yeah, so they're going to talk about that, changes to Classroom, changes to Google Drive. So a lot of different really cool stuff is coming. All of these sessions are being hosted by other people. So they're not even all Googlers. I mean, like I said, Khan Academy, we have some stuff from, I think Pear Deck is doing one of them, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. But there's a lot of great stuff at this Anywhere School, and all of the sessions are being recorded. So I'm going to put that link up there again for you. If you need the full schedule or if you need to register because you need to get the links for the videos, that's where you can go. It's goo.gle/the Anywhere School. All right, so I am talking way too much. So Jen, Arlen, Judy, any of you want to talk a little bit?
I want to hear what Arlen has to say. I haven't heard too much from him yet.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the new features are in Google Classroom. I know we had a preview of the new features in Google Meet, and really, I would have loved to have those last spring, and I realize it's something that can't be done quickly and easily, But yeah, the quicker we get those, the better, because we start training teachers. We did some training the last 2 weeks. I'm meeting with our new teachers tomorrow to provide them with tech training. So it's really great when we get the features ahead of that, but we'll take them when we get them.
Yeah. It's definitely hard when all these new features are coming out right as the school year starts, because we're all super excited for them, but at the same time, we don't want to just use them with the students before we have time to play with them a little bit.
I agree.
So,
I kind of wish that Google would change their timing on this and maybe make it like a month earlier would be a little. I understand that they need time to get everything ready, but I wish they would announce maybe a month earlier.
maybe you should, you already got them in your ear. You should tweet to them, Judy.
Yeah, I think the one email said something like that. They usually announce this at ISTE in June, which that didn't happen this year. So I'm really, really thankful that I made it to ISTE in Philadelphia 2 summers ago, seeing how it was canceled this year. But yeah, even if it's announced in June, it'd be great if teachers could get a preview of that in July and then be ready to go with training other people to use it and start using it with students in August.
So I'm curious because the shared a classroom extension is going away August 15th. So I'm imagining that something's going to be integrated into the classroom that will replace that. Guessing.
I hope so. I submitted a feature request asking for that and kind of saying there are a lot of upset kindergarten and primary teachers if that feature isn't replaced or someone doesn't come out with the replacement, because it's such a great extension. Not only is it amazing to the students, but it really does save a lot of instructional time. I mean, it's a great resource.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, speaking about extensions, I just want to give a shout out. I don't know if any of you know Clay from New York, but he writes some of the best extensions out there for teachers. And one of them was Meet Attendance. So that way, if you were doing Google Meets, you can actually pull an attendance list of everyone in your call. And a couple days ago, he tweeted that he had to take it down temporarily because somebody stole his code.
Huh.
So, look at that. Our special guest has just arrived.
Hey.
Hi, I'm going to go back to full
nice.
screen.
Hi,
So how
everyone.
many of you have met May before?
I haven't met May, but I communicated with her on email.
Yeah, so May is the Googler in charge of the GEG programs, at least in North America. Correct me if I'm wrong if you're everywhere.
Yeah, so first I lead our trainer program, and I know a bunch of people who are here and your members who are watching are in the trainer program. So thank you guys for all you do for making the trainer program so awesome. And then also recently, just in the past couple of months, I've taken over the GEG program overall. So like the strategy wise of the GEG program, but my focus still and my passion is with the US, just because I am here. So I'm really excited to be able to work more closely with you all. And it's really awesome. And I know I barely made it with like 10 minutes to spare, but I wanted to make sure that I say hi to everyone here. And thank you guys so much for all that you do. So it's really amazing.
Thank you.
Well, it's good that you came too, because you weren't the surprise that I hinted at earlier, but you are the reason we have the surprise. So May has put together some prize packs for viewers today. So there is some stuff that is currently in the mail on its way to me. And then we were going to pick some winners that I was going to send it to. So it's just some really cool Google swag. And somebody actually
Corey
has a comment.
Oh, thanks, Peter. Corey, I think you're in your car. You don't seem to be home, huh?
No, I am not home.
Because quite a few
I am technically on my lunch break at work.
Oh man, yeah. It seems like people who are throwing watch parties, I've heard from them that they got their swag. So when you get home, then you can share the swag and stuff with everyone. But real quick, I wanted to say that I know that in about 10 minutes, the show will start, and there's going to be a lot of announcements coming out in terms of our product announcements, like what's new, what other resources there are. I think, you guys will probably have a lot of questions around these product features. So please don't hesitate, like for everyone watching on YouTube, please don't hesitate to reach out to your GEG leaders who are here. And then any of you guys, please feel free to email me or chat me directly. I'm happy to try to provide any insights and shed any light into anything more that you guys will experience over the next, 48 hours. But I think there's going to be really exciting product announcements, and I know you guys are going to be I see in the GEG threads and the trainer threads that people are hoping for XYZ certain things, and I know that many of that is going to be addressed today. And there are going to attach an estimated timeline, because I know that was like a big thing. Like, yeah, these things are cool, like breakout rooms, blur background, but when am I going to get it? So you will have an estimate, and I don't know if it'll be the exact date, but at least you'll know, and you can go back to your districts and be like, oh, this is going to be in September or something. So yeah, just want to say, feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I'm here. And thank you again for everything that you guys do for the entire EDU community.
Thank you, May. You do a really great job of supporting us and always just making yourself available.
Awesome.
Thank you,
May,
Jen.
I think I think this is part of the reason great that you came on, because, some of us have heard this stuff because we are trainers, and you never know what you're allowed to give out, like what information you can give out at what point. So having the Googler give it out, I wasn't sure if the breakout rooms was common knowledge that that's on the roadmap to coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And you'll learn a lot more today when they announce all the features with me and everything. So I think maybe Corey is frozen. I don't know if the rest of you want to take over. But yeah, so nice. I have to drop off, but so nice to meet you guys, and finally in person, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, May.
Thanks for jumping in.
Cool. Talk to you
Thank
soon.
you.
Yeah, bye.
Well, that was nice.
I didn't realize I froze.
I always enjoy it when May has her daughter in the videos, but
Yeah, her daughter's adorable too. We have two people that have been posting in the chat. We have Peter and Amy. We do have more people. We have eyeballs that say more people are watching. So if you want to leave some comments, so that way we can try to give away some of these prizes. I don't know exactly what Google sent me, so I don't know exactly what I have to give away yet. But I'm pretty sure there's more than 2 items. So I'm thinking Amy and Peter are both going to get something in the mail soon. I'll have to reach out to you to get mailing addresses. But
Well, as we're talking about features
I'm
that we're
frozen.
hoping,
Can you guys hear me?
As I train in my district and other districts, I always talking about, I wish that the Google Classroom would direct you to the classwork page instead of the stream. Is anyone with me on that?
I'm with you.
And I guess, and my other big idea that I keep putting in the feedback, hoping they're listening, is direct me to the classwork page. And then I actually would like to see a stream for all of my classes. So a combined stream, maybe on that class page, where I could see the notifications coming from all of my classes, my math, my biology, etc. And then when I click on those classes, going straight to the classwork page and getting to all that new stuff that was posted.
I also want to see the student view available for the teacher.
Correct.
that came up a lot last spring, that there were teachers that were new to Google Classroom and they really wanted to see that. Even though it's very similar, it's not quite the same in some of the wording. There were students that would do work in a document or in a slide, but they wouldn't actually submit it or mark it as done. Mm-hmm. And I think teachers wanted to see that view so they would know the exact wording to tell them what to do to turn it in.
I did create I created professional development for my teachers online in a Google Classroom this summer. And so they're in the process of going through that. And so now they're understanding the student view. Of course, it'll all change tomorrow.
No, I like that. I do the same. When I train teachers, I actually have them join Classroom as students and see what it's like to be on the receiving end. I did the same with Google Meet. And a lot of them are like, oh, this helps to know what the students see when they're in Google Meet.
Exactly. The only trouble you run into is when the teacher device and the student device are different. You know, I was just working with teachers yesterday that they work off Windows devices, but their students have iPads. You know, so I'm developing, and they don't really have access to an iPad regularly. So coming up with the trainings that offer those views so they can, and parent outreach training so that those learning coaches, the parents, if and when we go virtual, can really assist their students as we move along.
Well, and one of the things that is going to come today that I can talk about is that there is going to be a list that's coming out of videos for parents and guardians that were created, and they're real short videos, but they will help provide parents and students with some additional help if they're at home.
Are these the videos I mentioned earlier that were created by GEG?
Yeah, they were created by GEG leaders. Yep.
That's fantastic.
I think there's like 69 or 70 of them. So it's a good chunk of videos.
That's good news. We had a lot of anxiety and frustration from parents, and what we tried to communicate to them was, even as early as kindergarten, our students know how to use Google Classroom. So the best way to learn is just to sit down with your child and have your child show you. But I think with the way things were last spring and just the uncertainty, a lot of people didn't do that. And so then they felt like they didn't know what to do because they didn't know how to use Google Classroom.
Another thing that I worked through with our admins is one of the biggest comments we got back from parents is that they were confused because everybody's Google Classroom was different. And so they didn't know where to go. So we kind of made a template of what the classroom should look like that the teachers will need to follow for this year anyway. But that way, if a parent has students in multiple Google Classrooms, they should look relative.
Now, how does that template organize topics? Does it do it by week?
To transfer things around. And then I had, for my elementary teachers, I had them put in the template, they put like a little emoji, like if they're in school, that it's a little school building, and if they're at home, it's a little house. So.
Ooh, Judy, I love that idea. That is a really smart idea, to use emojis to show where the lesson belongs. Love that. See? Simple tips and tricks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
So it is 1:58, and I know a lot of you want to log off of us to get in onto the keynote speaker by 2 o'clock. So if you didn't already see, I put it back up there, the full event schedule and registration. You do have to register through Google to access all of their videos, and then you will be able to get videos if you can't watch the live streams. So anyone have any final comments they want to say?
Best of luck, everyone.
Good. Nice job, Jen. That's a way to end it.
Great advice. Yep.
And now that you're not alone, like we're all out here. We all put our Twitter handles here. In GEG Pennsylvania. Make sure you tag that and the hashtags, and we are here for you.
Yep, we're here to help.
All right, Amy and Peter on the YouTube chat. If you guys want to reach out to me and get me your addresses, I will mail you whatever the prize is that May gave us. I'll split it between the two of you. I was going to do a random drawing, but, we have two people chatting, so they both win something. All right. So thank you all for joining us today. Guys, it was a pleasure. I will try to get closer to the Wi-Fi router next time I sit in my car to do this. But
awesome. Well,
Peter just asked. Peter just asked how I want to get their addresses. I'm going to give him my email address.
Yep. And there's one more person.
I'm going to give you guys my email address.
All right. 26 seconds.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, she's party hopping. Do you see that?
I am.
Good idea.
Oh.
You always save the best party for last.
All right. So I just put my email address in the chat. Of course. All right. Clock. So I know we all want to get to that keynote. So thank you all for joining
each other.
Guys, I'll see you next time.
Okay, looking forward to it. Bye.
This is how we learn.
I'm just going to put the schedule back up and click